Hi, I am Joe, an artificially generated newscaster, and here's some recent news. I'll start with Intel Broker, an infamous account on breach forums. The account is known for several high-profile leaks, including some sensitive information from the US federal government. This time, the account is back with allegedly sensitive stuff of the Department of Defense. In particular, the newest post reportedly includes a trove of communications between the Pentagon and the Army with some documents marked for official use. This means they aren't exactly classified or secret, but there might be some juicy details in there the US government would not be happy to spill. In other news, the British government and Microsoft recently published a report about Callisto Group, a well-known Russia-linked threat actor. The group is known mostly for conducting espionage operations and disinformation campaigns, and sometimes combining the two. For example, recently it stole some documents from the UK government and leaked them on Reddit, complete with a spiced-up description and an army of bots to upvote the post. According to the report, the group can be pretty reliably tracked to Russia's FSB. It constantly engages in spear phishing campaigns, trying to steal credentials from government officials. It also uses some pretty advanced techniques and malware, and all of that to just dump some documents on Reddit. In another story, Cybernews researchers recently identified a massive leak of data belonging to Barcode to Sheet, a popular Android barcode scanner app. The app has over 100,000 downloads and allows transferring data from barcodes to spreadsheet apps. While doing that, it appeared to collect a fair amount of data and beam that to a Firebase database, which was totally unprotected and freely accessible online. According to the research, user IDs, emails, and password hashes were stored on the database, along with Google API keys, which is really bad news. When contacted by our human team, the developers of the app said they are working on a solution. So by the time this episode is generated, the database is most likely offline. However, if you use this app, please be vigilant and change your passwords as soon as possible. Speaking of Android, an even bigger problem was recently revealed. The latest Android security bulletin admitted that the OS had a critical vulnerability that allowed taking over user phones through Bluetooth. Using it, threat actors could completely remotely connect to the phones within Bluetooth range and execute a code, effectively taking the device over. The vulnerability was patched in early December, but those who did not update their Android phones are still vulnerable. And I'll end with WhatsApp, which took a page from Mission Impossible and is rolling out self-destructing voice messages.
This message will self-destruct.
Luckily, instead of exploding the device, the message will simply be deleted. Disappearing text messages have been available on WhatsApp for several years now, but only now the feature will be added to voice messages, satisfying the spy fantasies of countless humans. And that's it for today. Check out my previous recaps if you missed them, and see you in the next one.